What is going on? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Big Rye here with you. Fat Guy should be joining us shortly for the midday Thursday game. I know we don't have a Thursday night game, so this looks like the marquee game of Thanksgiving. What's going on, Dylan? I see you, baby. What's going on, Sarah Vuth? How are you doing? Happy Thanksgiving, Dylan. Happy Thanksgiving, Sarah Vuth. What did you guys think of the first game? What's going on? Going crazy? How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. you're used to Detroit getting their asses beat on Thanksgiving. 0-1 now. Yeah, that if I had gun to my head, I would have picked Detroit, but I didn't make a bet earlier because of how the market fluctuated. There is slight value today on the Washington football team. Just taking a look to see, because now that this game is done, there should be a little bit more action coming in on Washington Dallas. This is going to be a heavily bet game. There's going to be about 30,000 bets. Don't sweat it, Sarah Booth. There's wins and there's losses. It doesn't matter how bad you lose. And a win's a win. Doesn't matter if you win by one. Dylan said Washington is covering. I'm just waiting to see where this line ends up sitting just before kickoffs, because I'm going to be on Washington. It's just a matter of if I'm going to be on Washington +3 or if I'm going to be on the Washington money line. Yeah, the OU opened at 51.5 and it was bet up to 53 at kickoff. So there was a lot of people on the over. Line just moved to 2.5. It's kind of been at 2.5 to 3, fluctuating throughout today item. So I've been watching it, just kind of seeing where it sits. Because at 2.5, I'm going to be taking the Washington football team money line. Right now, the money line's +126. But if I can get Washington, let's say +3 at -110, I'll probably end up taking the 3 points. So I'm just being patient and waiting. I'm not too worried about whether it's 3 or whether I get the money line. I think there's value either way. I'm not sure about the over-under, Don. Let me take a look and see what has happened with that line. So it opened at 47. It's been bet down to 46. So if I had to make a suggestion, I'd say take the under. But over-under stuff, like Fat Guy and I always say, it's not our strongest suit. So I'm going to be taking Washington in this game. It just depends where the line sits. If it's lower than 2.5, I'm going to take the money line. And if Washington gets up to 3, then I will be taking Washington +3. Right now, Washington's sitting at +2.5 at even. So just watching the market, seeing where it fluctuates. Both Dallas and Washington have been playing better, so it's tough to say. I think Washington's the better team, especially if Alex Smith continues to play. Alex Smith is a cover king, and Andy Dalton is a Andy Dalton with this offensive line isn't going to be turning heads. They already played once this year, and Washington beat them 25-3, I think it was. So, I'm on Washington, and I'd be on the under as well. But I'm only going to be betting the either the Washington spread or the Washington money line. Fat Guy is here, so I will invite him in. Hello, Fat Guy.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. We're just talking about the game today, what people like. I've been suggesting either Washington money line if it stays at 2.5, or betting Washington +3 if we get up to 3.
Those are all reasonable. It's not like, I don't know, these aren't great markets. Like, I don't think it's necessary to bet, but yeah. People do love the entertainment aspect of it, so I can't hate on that.
Yep. I think there's some slight value on Washington, but it's like the Fat Guy said, it's not this isn't like a lights out, you got to bet this game. How much of the early game did you catch?
I had other things going on. I didn't actually watch it, so
it was a poorly coached, very messy game, so you didn't miss too much. I think it's probably what you kind of expected.
It is that. I would say that is what I expect. I thought Detroit would win, though. I actually did think that. He's got to go. Am I wrong, or?
Patricia is now 13-29-1 as the head coach of Detroit.
13-29-1. Okay.
Yeah. And then for
it's not Hugh Jackson numbers, but it ain't good.
Oh, that's pretty poor. The other thing that I found funny is they were talking about how hard Houston's schedule was to start the year.
Yeah, which it was.
It was, but like that's no. They're like trying to justify that they won today because their schedule's been so hard. And it was interesting. Also,
I knew the Zoom thing would screw me up. I thought I forgot I switched the audio.
Okay.
Last time.
Can't
teach a dumb dog new tricks. There we go.
I liked Tony. What's going on, Jamie? Tony Romo brought something up during the broadcast that I thought you would find funny because he's essentially trolling, even though he's like not supposed to troll. But Detroit was down 2 touchdowns with like, I don't know, 8 minutes left or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was 4th and 1, and they were on like their own like 25 or own 30-yard line. And Romo like essentially talked up like they essentially have to go for it. Like there's just not enough possessions in the game, and like they need touchdowns, and they didn't get it. And the second they didn't get it, Romo goes, "Oh, that was a bad decision. They should have punted." But like he was saying it in jest.
Yeah.
And I thought it's
funny
like
that he even knows like why is this such a difficult concept? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, it's decent. Absolutely.
What's going on, Jamie? Happy Thanksgiving. Dylan wants to know why you look like a black-haired Santa Claus.
I don't know. I'm fucking chunky. I've been playing poker all night. I'm exhausted. Yeah, they're pretty standard stuff.
Dylan, how's the chess game going? You still been playing? Have you been keeping up? Any competitions coming up for you? Did you see that Netflix put out a featured show on Dylan Todfield's life called The Queen's Gambit?
The Queen's Gambit, yeah. Absolutely.
Don't you think chess could just be played online? I guess it's one of those things where there could be cheating, right?
No, it can't be. I mean, it could, and it often is, but it's a different animal. There's a lot of psychological warfare in standardized chess. There's a lot of good Bobby Fischer documentaries that talk about that too. It drove him insane. He thought that the Russians put like hearing devices in his molars. Like it got, I don't know. It was pretty out there.
That is interesting.
Speaking of which, I was just finishing up a chess game. Still in one. It would be embarrassing for Dylan Toddfield, the level of play that I have right now.
So who are you guys on tonight for Skins Cowboys?
Oh, hey Jamie, how you doing? Sorry, I'm really just waking up, boys.
Well, it's all good. We've got some time to kill. There's still 20 minutes plus to kick off.
Yeah.
It's a nice sunny day, but we're getting to watch some sort of buffalo run around in the snow. I have no clue. Cook said he's on Skins +3.
Classic Cowboys and Indians confrontation. I guess you can't say that anymore.
Maybe not. It's always hard to keep up with what's the trend.
What's fashionable, right? What's offensive? Told you my plan. I've been writing a carefully concocted letter. It's going to be going to San Jose State, USC, and Michigan State. Well, I mean, I might as well, right? I want my. That just seems like it. You name. It's a point of honor in your team name. This, for me, it would be Spartans, right?
Yeah.
It's where the lineage is from. So couldn't I argue? Of course I could. Would I? Do I really have any feelings behind it? No, because it's awesome. Native Americans were very difficult to deal with. That was the whole point of all these names. Seminoles. That's a great name. You could argue that Redskins is a little bit obtuse, but
Eric said, "Fat guy, you would make a great liberal Canadian pro wrestler."
I guess I'm hardly liberal, but yeah. I'd be libertarian, but they're so uncool. All right.
How's everybody's Thanksgiving Day? You guys got Thanksgiving dinners or lunch? Like, what is it? What is the U.S. tradition? It's like you eat dinner at like 2 p.m. Isn't that it?
They drink early, I think, Big Rye. I think that's that's the main thing. Anyone gonna watch Grey's Anatomy later, or?
I'm too busy watching The Good Doctor.
No, he got the virus. Let's wish him well.
Hopefully he pulls through.
They film that garbage here.
I hope he pulls through for the show's sake.
For the show's sake.
If you want to draw heat, Big Ry could dress as the Grand Wizard.
I don't know who the Grand Wizard is. I mean, of course, it could be from a group, an infamous group started in Georgia around the 1870s. Did some very bad things. Aren't that many of them, though. You could actually phone that group on the telephone years ago, and then the leader died. Anyways.
On Urban Dictionary, it says a massive dump that takes 10 to 15 times to flush.
Oh, the Grand Wizard, that's what they call it?
That's what somebody put on there. There's also, I think what you were referring to is a
hooded figure?
There you go. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Oh, but okay. All right, good. Come on in. Thank you, babe.
Oh, the Grand Wizard was a WWF manager. He managed Billy Graham.
I don't know. Isn't he more of a classy Freddie Blassie guy? Not much of a Jim McMahon, or what was his name?
Here's some pictures of the Grand Wizard on stream.
Oh, I don't mind that.
If we ever start losing all our picks and making terrible picks, this is how I'm going to have to dress up. Michigan, you said you're dying of failure. Hopefully it's not heart failure.
I kind of like the Eagles, but I need more points.
Let's take a look and see where they're sitting right now. They're sitting at 5 still.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. You've been watching Detroit for how many years? Pretty standard stuff to lose on Thanksgiving. Sure, they put a
Go ahead.
Brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
The Patricia, Michigan, I'm sure you know this, is 13-29-1 as the coach in Detroit. They gotta make a change. They need something else going on there, because it was almost laughable too, because they were talking about how they're an up and coming franchise and how they've done really well in the draft lately, and I was just like, I just don't.
I don't see it.
The let's look up Detroit Lions draft picks. So they drafted Jeff Okuda at corner. I feel like he's played 9? It says he's played 9 games. I don't know how well he's played this year, but it hasn't been well enough to be like a standout player. And drafting 3rd overall, you kind of expect that, like high end corner play. DeAndre Swift at running back in the 2nd round, who's been fine. Hasn't been great, hasn't been bad for a 2nd round pick. Probably not very good. Julian Akwara and Jonah Jackson, a defensive end and guard, in the 3rd round. Okwara's only played 4 games. It says Jonah Jackson has played 10 games. Quintez Cephas, who played today, a wide receiver who hasn't really made that much of an impact. He's made 10 catches in 7 games. Last year they drafted TJ Hawkinson in the 1st round.
That's kind of working out.
Jelani Tavai, well, as an 8th overall pick, I don't think there's a lot of value in what Hawkinson brings to the field.
No, absolutely not.
Jelani Tavai is a linebacker. Will Harris, a safety. Austin Bryant, Aru Wararie at corner. Travis Fulham, who has now made a name for himself in Philadelphia. Ty Johnson, who I don't even think is on the roster. And then in 2018, Frank Ragnow, who might be the best player so far.
Yeah.
A 1st-round pick center in 2018. Kerryon Johnson, who has been...
He's
lackluster.
3rd string. He had 1 good season.
Tracy Walker, a safety. Deshaun Hand. Who's not played that well. Tyrell Crosby, Nick Bowden. 2017. I think that's it, right? 2018, 2019, 2020. That's been Patricia.
Yeah. I think Bob Quinn was there for 1 year before.
In 2017, they managed to get Gerard Davis, Kenny Golladay, who have been the 2 most successful players that they've drafted up to this point. And then they also got Jamal Agnew in the 5th round. So they've had, 1, 2, 3, 4. They've had 4 impact players drafted in the last 4 years. That's just not going to cut it.
No, absolutely. I think this is a team it's yet another rebuild. They don't even, like, the quarterback situation's even murky. Because what, like, by the time they get it together, Stafford's it'll be done. So might as well turn the page on him too. I like Matt Stafford. I do. I think he's an upgrade on a lot of those fringe quarterbacks on, we'll call them fringe teams, i.e. Cleveland. I don't want to call the 49ers a fringe team, but I think Stafford would be an upgrade, to be honest.
Over Garoppolo, if Garoppolo was healthy?
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that. Just because there's a thing about Garoppolo I realize I don't like. You need, with the style of offense they play, you need a 8% chance at a bomb. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that he brings that ability.
That's an interesting point to bring up. I think the thing, too, that you have to wonder about with Garoppolo is just he hasn't been able to stay healthy the last few seasons. Like, he hasn't played that many games, and Stafford is one, shown that he could stay healthy. And Stafford might be slightly better, especially it'd be interesting to watch Stafford play in a good offense, because I don't know if he's had the opportunity to play with a strong coordinator or like a strong at least head coach as far as offensive minded goes. And can you think of like a better fit than Shanahan?
Yeah, that's true. When they had Megatron, I'm gonna say 20. They made the playoffs. They won 14. Sorry, not 14. They won 10. That offense was reasonable.
Okay, let's catch up.
Oh, they won 11-5. They won 11-5.
Who did and when?
The Lions.
What year?
2014. They had Dominic Raiola at center. Like that's a nice piece at the time, even though he was at the end.
Well, let me go over. let me go over who they drafted from 2011 to 2014, because that's like your 4 years of draft, and the rookies you have is a big impact. And let me list off the guys who have a career AV over 10. And AV, guys, is a stat Pro Football Reference uses to
very good website
to measure like how valuable a player has been. So these were the draft picks then. In 2011, only one guy, Nick Fairley. But Nick Fairley was a strong player when he was drafted. Riley...
He had an injury that... Nick Fairley had a season-ending injury when he was on the Saints?
I can't remember off my head, but I'll list off all these guys. In 2012, they drafted Riley Reef, a tackle, and Tahir Whitehead, a linebacker. So two hits there in that draft. This is where it starts getting good. 2013, this is their draft class. Ezekiel Ansah, Darius Slay, Larry Warford, Devin Taylor, Sam Martin, and Theo Riddick. So they hit on all of those guys. Other than Devin Taylor wasn't exactly a hit, but like they managed to get some play out of him. And then in 2015, they drafted Eric Ebron, Kyle Van Noy, Travis Swanson, and Nevin Lawson. So a decent draft haul in those years. But to say that they've had good drafts over the last few years is, I know they were just kind of like talking out of their ass at the end of that game, but like it hasn't been good, and it translates. Like good drafts translates to wins, no matter how good or bad of a coach you are.
Well, the other thing too.
Well, the other thing too is that like the success of your draft picks also has to do with coaching, because certain coaches can get a lot out of their players. Like essentially anybody who's been drafted is a guy who you would assume would be drafted to play in whatever system Matt Patricia has put into place, and he somehow has gotten worse year after year the longer he's been with that team. All right, let's catch up on all this. Dylan thinks we're pricks because you picked against the Saints. Michigan...
What does that have to do with being a prick?
I don't know.
So ridiculous.
I said Houston was going to cover, and I still took Detroit. I am happy I didn't get my bet in. I would have bet Detroit. Okuda hasn't done much. Swift is hurt, and Jackson has been decent. It's nice that Jackson's been decent as a guard, but like one guard out of a draft is not.
It's not going to do much.
I always call Matty P the rocket scientist sarcastically. I like that. I would have loved Brian Burns / Devin Bush. Yeah, that would be a lot better than what they have right now. Michigan said Oruwariye has been getting cooked today. Item asked, should I trade away Kenyon Drake and Robert Woods in exchange for Miles Sanders and Antonio Brown?
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I like Robert Woods. I like Kenyon Drake. I like Miles Sanders' chances going forward, despite Untouchable Jay's negativity about his own team.
And Brown's been used underneath, so I don't...
They have been targeting him a lot.
They have been. I think that's a pretty even trade, so... At that point,
I think it's in favor of Item, to be honest.
So you'd rather have Sanders and Brown?
Yeah, assuming Brown finishes out the season, which is another chink in the armor. He's being investigated by the NFL, whatever that means. So that seems to be never ending with him.
So the line never came back up to 3, so I put 1 unit on a Washington money line play. Are you upset no one is picking the Saints? I don't know if you're talking to us or Dylan. We could care less who people are picking. And my guess is, let's take a look. The Saints have 62% of the bets, but only 45% of the money. So It's a very clear market play for the Broncos as of now.
It's in Denver, right?
Yep. This game's got up to 27,000 bets, and 70% of the money is on the Cowboys, which is interesting. A lot of people betting Cowboys tonight. Mickey thinks that was Patricia's last game. That's his guess.
I think they'll wait till the end of the season. As it should be. I mean, like, they'll wait till the end of the season, but, like, I don't know. Is there an assistant they can kick the tires on and maybe see some sort of progress? Like, I don't know. You know what I don't mind about in-season firing? It's a free audition, man. Because you don't expect the guy has no pressure. It's this. By the way, this trumpeter is doing a beautiful job in this game. But like you have a free audition. Like, why wouldn't you? I don't know. Like, give the guy a chance to save his job, more or less, right?
Yeah.
You know, you can still. And the other thing too is he's interim. You can still. You can still interview people afterwards. Like, I don't know.
I think it makes too much sense, but who's the owner for Detroit right now? Is it still the lady?
The Ford family, yeah.
I'm just curious who's making the decisions there.
Ooh, talking head picks are coming.
I
really love to.
I got tipped off that all the talking heads picked Dallas.
Oh, that's nice bet then, everybody.
Hello, football fans.
Hello, Jay. How are you?
Uh, Jay, where did you see all the talking heads pick Dallas? That's on Fox. Okay, cool. I always miss it. I'm always busy doing other things, so I'm not watching the broadcast. There was 4 turnovers in 30 plays in the first half of the early game.
How was Stafford? Did you get a good look at that game?
He I think his thumb is worse than the team's leading on, and
Well,
it's like
yeah,
they're
that's why I
trying
didn't
to
like
win
the game.
games. You know who had the most heart out of anybody on the field?
Peterson?
Mohamed Sanu.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah,
because he's
he's
playing for his career, to stay in the game.
yeah, and the other thing too is that it looked like the entire Detroit team had given up, but you have to remember he's essentially a guy who was brought in. I think he was signed to the practice squad a week ago, maybe not even.
Yeah.
Pretty recent. And then probably wasn't even scheduled to play and take snaps, but by the time he did manage to log some snaps, he was fired up. He might have even got hurt near the end of the game, but he was the only guy playing hard and actually trying to win, despite
It's game
them
day.
being
He's in the
down.
show, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Untouchable said Stafford was a bit off. It's a Stafford's injury I think is pretty bad. You would have liked it. They pretty much scored all 3 touchdowns, or 3 of their touchdowns. Houston, that is, because Detroit decided to play man with 1 safety up high, and they had a linebacker get burned by I think Duke Johnson, or a running back. I can't remember which running back it was. And then they had Will Fuller on man, and he just ran by his guy for the easiest touchdown ever.
With no safety help?
Yeah. And then they did
what do you think's going to happen? Every team in the league knows that Will Fuller has literally 1 trick.
Yeah. So that was it was interesting, that's for sure.
Gibson's been a shining star, is a bit harsh of a, or euphemistic of a term. I don't even know if that's a word, but
he's a tremendous athlete, and he gives them the opportunity for a home run on any play. Even though I don't think he's actually had that many long runs, if any, this season. But he's definitely got that opportunity. They've really split the carries and playing time quite evenly between a lot of these guys.
Well, he's taken over, I would say. McKissick is playing a lot though. They also have 2 running back sets as well. So,
well, they usually start the game with Gibson, but as the game wears on, they'll lean more on Barber or McKissick, depending on if they're up or down. It's a little bit of a weird way of going, but I have a feeling that you and I have seen this with a lot of rookie running backs. It takes some of them a little bit longer to kind of learn how to become complete backs. So even though there is a lot of excitement with Gibson with the ball in his hands and the big playability, McKissick's just going to give you more in the passing game all around, and Barber's going to give you all around more in the running game. Except
I don't know if he's
yards gained.
I don't know if he's going to give you more. He's going to spell. He'll spell fine.
Well, it's like it's the blocking assignments. It's those kind of things. Like there's more to running than just running.
Of course, of course, of course. Three and out for Washington. The real matchup I want to see is how Dallas is able to fend off this D line, which is very, very, very good. They've drafted a lot of guys that are extreme high upside, that are perhaps gambles, i.e., Antonio Gandy Golden, for instance. So like a big time playmaker. I think they're gonna go for explosive in Washington, for better or for worse. So they've been gambling, that's for sure. I don't face cream puffs like you, Dylan.
Dylan, with fantasy, until you're mathematically eliminated, there's always a chance.
Thanks, Big Rye.
Well, it's true. Dylan's already said you're most likely losing. Like, yeah, that might be the case, but nothing's guaranteed until
nothing is guaranteed.
All is said and done. As in my famous quote for fantasy from years back, thanks to Ellie Goulding, anything could happen.
Anything can happen. That's right. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, Dylan. I'm trying to take it easy on you guys. You know what I mean? It's not cool if you win your own contest. So I'm fielding a roster, but I'm not going 100% here because it's not fair.
And I'm not going for cool. I'm going for blood.
Are you? I'm not trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cordial. I'm not going for cool. I'm going for blood.
You can quote me on that.
That's you think of a lamer thing to say?
I feel like Andy Dalton's dunked some kids' heads in some toilets and yelled at Doyle rules.
Yeah, I feel like he hasn't done that. Dude, when have redheads ever been the bullies? I don't know. I didn't go to Irish preparatory school, but
yeah, Marvin Jones has just not been very consistent this year. Even with like greater opportunity with Galladay out, it's just not.
He had one touchdown recently when Galladay was out, but that's about it.
He doesn't look like the player he once was.
Ron Payne's equipment is all over the place, so I'm wondering if he got held on that play. Aaron Donald was complaining about that. He thinks that he got jobbed by the referees in that Tampa game. I did point it out during the live stream. I mean, he was getting held pretty bad, and I didn't see any calls. He says particularly on that sack fumble play, he said at a minimum it was a hold in the end zone. But whatever. I mean, they were able to get by. But I think that game was more glaring for Tampa Bay than anything. I think the Rams handily won that game. Yeah, Mickey thinks so, and I don't blame him. I just think that they're an organization that usually waits till the end.
I didn't catch the entire starting O-line for Dallas, but at left tackle, they are starting Cameron Irving.
Yeah.
Who is going up 1v1 versus Chase Young.
Joe Looney, Connor McGovern. I don't think Lale Collins is back, so I don't know who's playing right tackle. I know it's not Mark Colombo or Doug Free, but
what? I can't tell if you're way behind me. What point in the game are you at?
Chase Young just blew up a run. Am I behind you?
I think so. I'm just trying to find. I'm at 17 seconds on the play clock. 15, 14, 13.
I didn't go to CTV then. I think I was on TSN. Canada sucks.
I'm on CTV.
How are they always 7 seconds ahead?
I have no clue, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
So Dalton pressured on his second, on that second down. He rushes the pass. It's incomplete. 3rd and 12 now for the Cowboys. Dalton takes off, and I think he gets it.
Yeah. You know what's lame about that? Is how are you supposed to tackle from the side on that play?
Well,
he gave himself up early. Because what if a guy drove, I think it's John Bostic. What if he dove, preemptively with that? I don't understand it. Dalton dove into his side. Is that I don't know. I feel so annoyed. Look at the defenders. See, they slow up like this because they don't want to get a flag, and it's just dumb. Cameron Irving's
already hurt. I've been talking about it too with quarterbacks along the sidelines. There's times where quarterbacks will hit the sideline and then they'll take their extra few yards, and you're damned if you do, damned if you don't as a defender, because either you hit a guy if you go balls to the wall and he takes one pinky on the sideline, you're getting a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. And
no, absolutely.
If you don't come in and make the hit, a guy can take an extra 4 or 5 yards, and it might not be that drastic. I know Derek Carr, Russell Wilson do this. Mahomes, I think, does this, where they hold the ball out that extra yard.
Yeah.
And I think defensive coaches should be preemptively teaching guys to essentially go to swipe a yard in front of the quarterback, because if they reach that ball out, there's no reason why you can't punch it out or at least F up their arm.
I don't know. There's some advanced stuff you could do on defense. I mean, when I used to play sports, I really only played soccer for most part as a team sport, but I used to lay big hits in soccer, legal ones, and I used to pick a point when the guy would try and make a move or get off balance, and then I could make contact with the ball and I could lay a punishing hit on the guy. If you know a guy is near in your vicinity, why not run to a point at the sideline and just run full bore at that point? And if he cuts back in, one of your teammates gets it. If he doesn't, he gets absolutely crushed inbounds, getting hit out of bounds. It's going to be hard if you do that multiple times for the league to issue something, because you're a runner. You are a runner,
Mm-hmm.
But they don't like big hits, and I'm just sick of it for the defense.
Yeah, it's definitely tough to be a defender in the NFL right now. Michigan, Washington has invested so much in their front seven, and it shows. I don't get why more teams don't do this. And I know not every team has the opportunity to get a guy like Chase Young, but you can still get the 3rd or 4th defensive end. It's collectively.
Deron Payne?
Yeah, it's collectively, you want to have.
Deron Payne's really good.
Oh, that looked ugly for Cameron Irving. But whoever's going in at left tackle can't be that much of a downgrade or upgrade either way.
Holy jeez. This drive could be good for Washington, but this is a law of diminishing returns. If these guys start getting after him, it's going to be tough here. They need a lead. You need a lead against Washington, otherwise you can't win. Well, you can win. It's just going to be a lot more difficult. That was a nice ball by Dalton.
Detroit needs to clear house. That's my opinion.
Six overall in yards. Five first-round picks on the D-line. This is a tough defense to run a screen on. I mean, you can fool them, but they can make it up with their athleticism. Dude, Sweat is faster than most of the receivers on the other teams. It's not even a joke, though. He's a 4.4 guy.
It's crazy.
Like, dude, and that whole D-line is just, those are monsters, man. Monsters. That's why I like Washington as a team going forward. They're going to have to improve their offensive line, though. Washington is. That for me would be number one. I have a field goal attempt here.
Now Zach Martin is down. They can't afford to lose these guys. Speaking from a Dallas, this is the game. They've already had to deal with Washington once with a terrible offensive line, and it's going to be even worse this game. There was a great video I watched today, and it was probably set up. It was just too good not to be real. But somebody got two phones and put them beside each other, and one was a Domino's and the other was a Papa John's. And it was only a 40-second call, but by the end of the call, both pizza places were yelling at each other, talking about how their deals are trash and their pizza sucks.
That's fantastic.
Even if it's fake, it's not bad.
Corporate infighting means lower prices, Big Rye.
It was funny. Free Hawkinson. I don't think Hawkinson's that good, to be honest.
Oh, I think he's good. I think he's a good tight end. I think he's a top 5 tight end. It doesn't add win probability. Just doesn't. You know what I mean?
I think it does, but
I don't.
I think there are tight end. George Kittle makes a difference to the line. Sure. I don't think Hawkinson gives you that same value. And if you're drafting a tight end in the top 10, you kind of expect that.
So, there's only 2 tight ends that add value, what you're talking about. You could argue Darren Waller as a third.
Who's the first one?
Travis Kelce?
Yeah. I think Kittle gives you a lot of flexibility at tight end.
Yeah, but as far as that versatility at tight end, he'd be the only one then. Waller and Kelce are just better in the pass game. That's about it, right?
If you were drafting...
Jared Cook doesn't suck. It's just I like Jared Cook. It just doesn't... The situation is different. He was drafted 8th overall, Hawkinson. Jared Cook was picked up on free agency. I mean, I would say Hawkinson is better, but it's not leaps and bounds. Zach Martin is now hurt. Holy, this is going to look bad for Washington going forward. Rudolph doesn't suck. It's just an average guy. He's below average even. So just not going to give you the value.
There's a big like Dylan, we're talking about the overall value a tight end brings to a team winning games. We're not talking about fantasy.
Fantasy and that's a lot of thing that. Go ahead.
Well, fantasy stats and stuff for a tight end is way different than how valuable a guy is. The if you were to draft like just an average draft, where do you think Kelsey gets picked? If you like have perfect information, knowing that Kelsey's gonna be the
we're doing a fantasy draft, like a Madden fantasy draft.
Sure. I'm just trying to look at like if Kelsey was picked 15th overall in the 2017 draft or whatever year he came in, is that a good pick? Like, is that a
yeah, but that's because there's so many busts, man. Anyone who plays along Sebastian Janikowski was a good pick in the 2000 NFL draft, and he was a kicker. He was a 16th overall pick, right? I mean, he was good value because he played 17 years, right? So, like, it's hard to put it that way. If you're going to do an NFL fantasy draft, that's a little bit more different, right? So how many, like in the first 32, it's defensive linemen, offensive linemen, and quarterbacks. Clearly, quarterbacks, it would be probably 20 of the 32 picks, I would imagine, maybe 18.
Maybe let's get away from the fantasy draft aspect. Like if just in a regular draft, like if Kelsey is the third pick overall in 2013, is the production that you get from Kelsey worth a third overall pick?
Assuming we know about everybody else, I mean, it's still no, but
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what's the sweet spot? If he's picked 20th, is it a home run? If he's picked 6th, is it?
Well, no. The way you have to bust it up is the win probability added of the position, right? And you're gonna gamble on other positions more. And also too, the basement of a good offensive lineman is like an average offensive lineman is better than a good tight end in win probability added, and an average defensive lineman is better than a good tight end win probability added, right? So for those reasons, right, like if you considering tight ends can be busts, like the highest you can really pick them is a third round, more or less, considering contract and value added. You know, you can make cases for late second round and guys like Gronk, but Gronk was only appropriate because Gronk became maybe the best tight end of all time, right? If you knew he was going to be who he was, yeah, drafting him, 8th overall would be okay, but it's you're gambling so hard. If you look at all the tight ends that have been drafted in the first round, very few have bore any sort of fruit. This goes back to the 90s with the Jets. They drafted a guy 7th overall. Only played like 6 games, or sorry, 4 seasons rather.
I'm just looking back at the 2013 draft because that's when Kelsey was selected, and he was selected 63rd, so 3rd round, and I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say that that's a bad spot for him to get selected. Like a 3rd round pick for Kelsey is terrific value. The interesting thing to note is that he was the 19th player selected that year to go to a Pro Bowl. So there was 18 guys selected before him that ended up going to a Pro Bowl. So if you had to redo the draft, would you say, like getting picked 18th overall would be about right? And like a lot of these players that were Pro Bowl players in front of him, like he is better than. Like he's better. Well, Eric Fisher was selected 1st overall. Who do you think is more valuable to the Chiefs?
Eric Fisher.
Eric Fisher or Kelsey?
Eric Fisher.
And
all day.
There's not a lot of people that would even know Eric Fisher's name if they heard it.
He's slightly above average to above average. Yeah. Like that's it. But he's a starting left tackle. Left tackles are worth almost double tight end.
Yeah.
So
we got an interesting play here.
Oh yes! What a play! Is that Scary Terry? It's got to be
the catch. Yes, I don't know who threw that. Logan Thomas.
He's played. Logan Thomas has started at quarterback, I believe, for Arizona. He converted to a tight end. He's played some bad games at quarterback for Arizona, but he can throw. Like, not great. Like, that ball wasn't even good, but it doesn't matter. Dude, McLaurin's awesome, man.
He's one of my...
Zitvono jumping in the gambling realm, guys. Got Broncos money line. I love it, man. I love it. Maybe he's just saying that to troll Dylan, though. Yeah. That's. I was picking up on that. That does seem like a play Zitvono would make if he was gambling, though.
Is another Cowboys player down injured?
Yeah.
I'm not sure which corner that is, number 24 in the Cowboys, but he made a nice play on that ball. I don't even want Cameron Irving playing on my team if he's fully healthy. I can only imagine him coming back in with an injury. Zit said he doesn't think the price of plus 215 on the Broncos is good enough.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh my! They have the masked dancer now. Like this is this where TV has devolved? It's Randy Gregory.
That's not a good player for the Cowboys to have out either.
What a play, man. That is just such a strong run.
He doesn't look it, but Gibson is actually a fairly big back.
He doesn't look it at all. He plays it, though.
He's 6 feet 230, 228. So he's probably
heavier than I thought.
Oh, bad decision by Alex Smith. He had whoever was at the top. He had a guy wide open. But it looks like Washington's going to get bailed out by a defensive flag for the Cowboys. There was a lot of pass interference calls in the last game too.
I want to see this. That's that. I think that's holding. I think it's holding it. Oh, that's what they called? What a play! Gibson has played phenomenally. Candied sweet potatoes. That sounds fantastic. My girlfriend's making tacos right now. We have a different Thanksgiving, all right? I like this offensive play calling a little bit better for the Redskins, to be honest. I just think this is a better team, the Redskins. They need some offensive line help, though. Like Morgan Moses is playing left tackle. He's best at right tackle. Wow. Dylan with a rare, we'll call it a Thanksgiving point of note. Another flag.
We're thankful for you, Dylan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thankful for my 4 sisters, especially the one I like. Oh, man, look at that job they just did on... Dude, they bumped him. They bumped and run him pretty good. I actually believe him this time. A little soft moment from Dylan. Does he get... Think about it this way, Jay. Does he get this much attention anywhere else in his life? No way. He's a focal point of the show. Gets mentioned every single video. There we go. There we go. Standard garbage. 82's open. Yeah.
If he can punt, he'd give Andy Reid a run for his money, this Logan Thomas.
Punt, kick, pass?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Punt, pass, what? I don't know.
Punt, kick, passes, right?
Andrew Ryad?
Yeah.
Punting and kicking are very, I don't know. Gee, look at this.
You know who Gibson doesn't remind me of?
Who?
Lashawn McCoy.
Yeah, he's pretty much the opposite here. This guy loves contact. And you know what's funny? He's really a receiver. Oh! False start. Easy touchdown. Yeah, 82 of all guys. They're tight end, man. And that would have barely... Oh, no. That play was blown dead right off the get-go. Well, Gibson, it's funny that a guy who, like Gibson, coming from a receiver background, is initiating contact. That's usually not how receivers work. They're very pansy-ish. Very feminine, the receivers, it feels like.
And Smith lasered that one in.
Smith looks good right now, Big Rye.
He does.
That bad decision he made wasn't actually a bad decision. He almost threw it to make a point that he was held.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder how many more plays would get called if quarterbacks threw the ball in players' directions.
Well, Baltimore used to do that with Flacco on purpose. Almost overthrow it just to shine a light on it. Did against New England. That's got to be in.
Gibson does have some serious speed.
This guy's good, man. I was skeptical. This guy is good. This guy's a good player.
Well, the nice thing too is it's kind of been disappointing how they've used him throughout the year, but they've really given him a nice amount of workload as a rookie back. Like, the guy doesn't need to touch the ball 300 times.
No, they're going to usher it in. What you really, because you're not good. They know they're not good. Please. Yeah. They could be, though. That's the one thing. They have to build foundations for that. Dallas still doesn't know who they are.
They the most touches he's had in a game was 20 carries. The last 2 weeks, 13 carries, 16 carries. So they've ramped him up a little bit. But like, even against the Giants, he only touched the ball 6 carries and 3 catches. But it's good to see. He surprisingly has 9 touchdowns on the season, which is pretty damn good for a guy who has played as much as he has. He's almost got a touchdown every 10 touches. It's good.
I didn't actually get a good look at it. Sid Vono, Big Rye watched it. I was sleeping because I was so late. Up so late the night before.
I thought both teams are coaching disasters, I guess you could say. I just there's so many mistakes, so many turnovers, just poor play all around. That first half was so messy. They had 4 turnovers on 30 plays, which is, it happens. It was messy. What's going on, Jackson? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
How are you celebrating out in your neck of the woods?
Oh, flatmate, you're so European.
Nice. Flatmate was also how Dylan Toddfield expressed his first British hookup. A bit of a stretch, but they can't all be bangers.
Yeah.
Did he get poked in the eye?
Yep.
Zach Martin's out.
This is not looking good for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it sucks for Klay Thompson.
He's out for another 2 seasons.
Well, he had another injury that's going to put him out for another year. It's unfortunate for basketball just in general. The league is
going to be retirement time.
Oh, and I highly doubt it. Klay Thompson is still fairly young. But it's like too many injuries. It's definitely gets harder and harder to come back every time. I was just going to say mismatch with Elliott on a linebacker down at the bottom of the screen.
It's a good glass half full, half empty, Jack. I'm surprised anyone wears a wedding ring while they're playing, like Andy Dalton does. It just seems weird, like when you handle a ball. Kind of like something that you want to get tight too. Maybe he's comfortable. It just seems weird. Who's calling a timeout here? I'm curious. Oh, first quarter.
Is it you're bang on? He's going to be 31 in February. And then Jackson. That's too bad about Detroit. It's if I had to make a pick, which we did, it would have been Detroit, but bet wise, it just wasn't. There's too many market factors pushing towards Houston, and I didn't want to take Houston as a favorite on the road. I'm guessing you have an important announcement to make, Dylan.
Picked Houston in the contest, 1-0.
Nice it. It was definitely nice. People had the opportunity to take Houston minus 2.5, so there was a little bit of value to take Houston in the contest. Oh, there you go. Dylan's thankful for Jackson's profile picture. Aren't we all? Yeah, I probably wouldn't have bet them at 3 though. It was one of those games where I think the line at 3 is a pretty even spot. The Washington is minus 160 on the live line. Dallas plus 119 to come back and win. It's dreamy, Jackson. I think you should roll with it. It feels like there's relatively few close games this year. The average win margin is, I think, 10.7, which is I don't have the data on what it was previous years, but it just shows you how much like teasing up. Hey, Mickey, how you doing? Sounds like you're on the road a lot today. So far, been a good start for Washington. They're up 7-3. Dallas has picked up a couple of offensive line injuries with Cameron Irving is questionable to return at left tackle. Zach Martin has been ruled out with a calf injury. Even Randy Gregory is questionable to come back with an eye injury. So it's been a rough start for Dallas so far, but they've got the ball.
Oh. Wow, second effort. Oh! I don't even know what just happened. I can't believe Pollard. That was like 4 efforts. Stuck at the line. Who caught him behind the line, though? Is that Young? Oh, no, that was a corner.
Chase Young got the last swipe at the
last
ball.
bit. I can't believe he was able to get that.
It's good effort. Pollard showed well this year, especially this last half of this season. Like he's done well. He's, you could argue, been the better back between the two, which is hard to say considering Elliott's on the other side. Oh,
that was insanely bad from Ronald Darby.
Yeah, Darby loses
that
the
was
ball.
Insanely bad.
Touchdown
that was
Dallas for Mickey. So Dallas is up 2 points here, and we've got an extra point try coming.
That was less Amari Cooper and more Ronald Darby. That could have been intercepted.
I thought it was going to be. Darby had excellent
so did
position, and I don't know where he was looking. But yeah, I was going to say I want to see if there was a push off by Cooper, because it looked like there was a lot of space created.
It's so minimal though, really.
Extra points good, so Dallas is up 3. So 2 possessions for Dallas, a touchdown and a field goal. 2 possessions for Washington, a punt and a touchdown. So Washington is going to get the third possession. Their third possession, see what they can do with it. Is this going to be over, guys? Well, so far 4 possessions, 3 scores. So been some scoring. It's still way too early though to say if the over/under is going to hit. I'm trying to. It's projected to hit 52 on the live line, so it looks like the over, because I believe it was 46, the OU before the kickoff. But this game can freeze up scoring wise pretty fast as well. I did see that JJ Watt pick. It was I missed it live, but I got to see the replay. Watt's a good player. Watt was a spectacular player before his injuries. But that's like, I think
JJ Watt has three
pick sixes. He's got a knack for being able to catch those balls that get knocked down. He does it probably better than anyone in the league. Ironically, I think Jason Pierre-Paul has 2 interceptions this year.
Yeah. Why is that ironic, Big Rye?
I can think of 8.5 reasons why.
This NFL shop commercial is my least favorite commercial of all time.
I've got some tidbits on this because I always thought it was the worst. It's the least like Canadian-esque commercial because it's for NFLshop.ca, just to be clear with everyone. And I saw the US version of the commercial. They use all the same video, but they've got like...
is this song the same?
No, the song's different. The song is...
That song's for us?
That song is specifically for Canadians.
He even says Weekend in LA, and it's like that garbage rap, too.
Well, the US version has like... I don't even know what the right term is, but like... it's like a Mexican style rap.
Oh, my God.
So they use the exact same footage for the Canadian commercial and just threw on different music.
Well, you look at the people in there; they're obviously not Canadian. Not like they just look American. They look like from California. Everyone in the video.
Yeah. Patricia's been terrible. Don, he's 13, 29, and 1 as the head coach, and if you get that many chances to coach and you've lost that many games, there's
nothing I can do for you.
He's a fine assistant, like he's a fine coordinator.
A coordinator, yeah.
So he'll get a shot as a defensive coordinator somewhere else, but as a head coach, I don't think he lasts after this season. All right, 2nd and 7 for the football team. This defense just seems soft from Dallas with how they're lined up. Play action.
It was a bad throw, but Gibson able to add an extra couple yards.
It's going to be 3rd and a long one. They've got the double back set here with Gibson and McKissick. Let's see how they line up. This looks like a play to McKissick, who's probably going to come across the face, if I had to guess. And what a weird play.
It worked.
Kansas City will win outright. Well, they're 3-point favorites, so they've got like a 61% chance in winning. 62% if you consider the juice that gets kicked into that. Let me just quickly take a look at the betting market.
Hold on one moment. Come on in.
I think that's a stay away game for now, Don.
Okay. Tacos for American Thanksgiving. I love it.
That sounds delicious.
It is.
You hope the Packers don't lose at home. Packers have a...
They're allowed to be furious with me.
Dylan calling his shot, saying the Chiefs and Steelers will both lose Sunday. So get your parlay tickets in for Ravens Bucks. Bridgewater coming home. Vikes will cover, says Don. Dylan, at what spread would you take Denver against the Saints? That's a good question, Jackson. Oh, fat guy, what's for dessert? Baklava?
Often it is, just not today.
You're gonna like what I did. My wife cooked Greek chicken, like Greek style chicken. So when we went to start eating, I put on a playlist. I found a playlist called Greek restaurant music, and I made her listen to it for the duration of dinner.
I gotta be honest, Greek music is brutal. It's like it's bad. In Greek, they call it skiladika, which means sounds like dog. So it does. Sounds like it's a guy wailing about some lover he had that died. They're all like that. Or they're tales of vengeance about how there's a famous song called Eftihos, which means luckily. It's about how a guy dumped a woman and his life is better. It's a very famous song in Greece.
I know a guy like that.
Oh, fuck.
Let me pull up. If you I don't get some of these defensive coordinators and how they make their calls. Like, wouldn't you just want to take away everything underneath if you're playing against Alex Smith? Like, don't you want to force him to throw downfield? And like, I know I'm confident in his ability to throw downfield, but wouldn't you just want to force him to do that over and over and over and take your shots?
They'd rather lose fashionably.
I guess so. It just seems like the defense is playing like it's a 2-minute drill and they're up 10.
Yeah, it's a prevent.
We listened to the hot tracks, the smooth vocals of Georgios Kontiyoannidis. Definitely recommend checking him out if you haven't already, guys. or Conto Giannis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, fat guy.
Just stick to football, okay? That was my dad's gonna come on stream and tell you how good it is.
We've done a little bit of research, Don, on college basketball, but we still want to do more research to be a little more sound.
Proficient.
Yeah, proficient, sound, however you want to say it. We get a nice run for Peyton Barber here on 1st and 10. He picks up 13. This is what you want, Untouchable, as a person on the skin side, is like you want them to be able to run the ball and you want them to be able to control the clock to keep that defense fresh. Well, the nice thing, Don, about there being so many college basketball games is that it does give you a lot of data to analyze, but there's a lot of different things that you need to look at. And the thing with market plays is that the more bets there are, the better you can usually test how a market will do. The problem with college basketball is you'll have some games that are, 5,000-6,000 bets, and you'll have other games that are 300 bets. So what do you do with a market that has 300 bets? It's a little bit tougher than a market like this. Like tonight's NFL game. Oh my goodness. We just got a fumble Ruski play from the Washington football team. Look at this. Holy. That's some Thanksgiving football right there. That is unreal. I've never seen that in an NFL game.
This is awesome. Scott Nolan getting my full endorsement. This is awesome. Laying nothing on the field. This is one of the best drives I've seen in a really long time. They're playing to the strengths of their players. They've improved, Dylan. They really have.
Here's an experienced play by Gibson. They're going back to the fumble Ruski play. They really did fool a lot of the defensive players on the Cowboys. Not enough, but they fooled enough.
That was awesome.
That made no sense what I just said, but they didn't fool everybody.
I've never seen that pulled off successfully.
The emancipation of Puerto Rico, or the
Little Giants.
What is it? Is that right?
You got it right. Come on, Icebox.
This is a big third down play because they're just far enough out where, like, obviously I know you and I want them to go for it on 3rd and 4th down, but it'd be nice for them to get this 3rd and 5 or 3rd and goal from the 5.
If you even get stunted at the 1, I would be going for it just to have the Cowboys backed up hurt at O-line.
Oh, no. And Smith has to throw it away. The feet got tangled up between, it looks like, Logan Thomas and J.D. McKissick on that play, and it blew it up.
I'll be right back.
Sounds good. And Washington doesn't look like they hesitate. They send the field goal unit out right away to attempt to tie this game up. Don tips us off. It's 10-10 game. Pretty safe field goal here from Dustin Hopkins. And it's good. So we got a tie game. Should they have gone for it there? I think so. Because either, like, the worst case scenario is obviously like a turnover or a sack. But either way, like if they even get any positive yardage there, regardless of a touchdown, like Dallas is going to be pinned inside their own 5. I don't like Dallas's chances of going 95 yards against Washington's defense. But Washington looks like they're happy to take the points now. The troubling part is that Dallas has that extra possession at the start of the second half. So right now, Washington is behind a couple possessions with the tie game. And the live line shows it. Like the Cowboys are minus 130 right now in the live line compared to a pick'em for Washington. Dylan thinks they should have gone for a fake field goal since they weren't that far away.
I like just doing it.
The other thing too, Jackson, is like for Fat Guy and I, if it's 3rd and goal from the 5, him and I would be running the ball because either you get in, there's most likely yardage, you at least gain some yards, and if it's 4th and 3 or 4th and goal from the 3 or from the 2, like it just improves your chances and it allows you to call more plays. Like there's just better play design the closer you get to the goal line. There's another thing. I know this might not be like the most analytic answer, but if you were the Cowboys, like if you're coaching the Cowboys, are you hoping for them to go for it on 4th, or are you hoping to stop them for the field goal?
I'm hoping that they kick a field goal.
Exactly. So if the other team wants you to kick a field goal there, and you're just gonna essentially concede and kick the field goal, I always think that's the wrong way of going. You pretty much want to make it hard on the other team. They're showing a shot outside the stadium. It looked like there was like dancers dancing outside. Are those supposed to be cheerleaders? And what the hell are they doing out there dancing? They're showing this replay with Thomas and McKissick getting tripped up. I don't think that play was going to work out regardless of the trip, but
you could have fit it in a tight window to McLaurin, but that was a beautiful throw.
That was nice to another one of your favorites, Michael Gallup.
Yeah. I think he's the best receiver on the team. Is this strip club outside the Dallas Stadium?
What's going on, Tony Meatballs? Happy American R and Pillage Day. Appreciate it. To you too.
I don't see his message either.
There's a word in there that I could see YouTube censoring. I could see it, so I don't know what the deal is.
Well, it's because you're on the BRFG YouTube.
Oh, there you go. You guys can fill in the blanks of R and Pillage. Don's wanting to know, Fat Guy, who you're picking to win.
I mean, I would prefer Washington. It's really what I got. It doesn't go beyond that. He is short.
Nice stop by Washington here.
What are they gonna do?
I think they're gonna. With McCarthy's body language, it looks like they're gonna go for it, and I'm kind of excited by this because Washington is more than capable of getting the stop.
Yeah, I still think it's the right play.
I think they're going to
Crowd
not
the
hut
line.
this ball.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
They did.
And they're throwing.
No. That's no. Oh, flag. No.
We'll see who it's on. I think it's on the Cowboys. I'm surprised that they decided to throw this, but it's because of how the coverage was set up. Cooper has to win a one-on-one battle, which she's won all day. Or sorry, it's CeeDee Lamb.
That was Lamb. I don't know.
There's nothing.
I don't think he got away with anything.
I think it's a hold there on Schultz. I like how he finished that play, though.
Yeah.
Did they call it on his hit after the block?
I think so.
Because it looked like an unsportsmanlike, if I'm correct. So, not only do they turn it over on downs, does Washington get an extra 15 yards after the play? Or half the distance to the goal?
No, it's extra 15.
I think is it Washington's ball? Don's saying it's Cowboys' ball.
No, it's Washington's ball.
What a turn of events for the Washington football team. And ironically enough, Washington puts their PP between their legs there for that field goal. And then Dallas comes out with the big boy and doesn't get it done.
Well, it's worse than that. They gave him like a 68% chance of getting a touchdown.
Yeah, this is a very, very nice turn of events.
The script has been flipped.
So we actually had a really nice opportunity to see how much that play affected it, because before that, Dallas was minus 130 to win. Now Washington is minus 185. So that actually gave Washington like a 14% boost in win percentage if you take all the juice into consideration, which is pretty crazy. Just shows you how much of a decision, how big that decision was. Alex Smith is better.
Yeah.
Alex Smith has the better record overall, but Andy Dalton surprisingly has a winning record as a starter in the NFL. I think he's 70-63 and
sounds about right. Some of those Bengals teams were quite strong.
Yeah, they had 4 years in a row where they won 10 or more games. But there's not a lot of guys who have won more games than Alex Smith, who is 95-67-1 in his career. He's had a chance to play with a few good teams. He had a 13-3 season in San Francisco, and then he won 11 games 3 times in Kansas City. Even in Washington, he's 7-5. Oops. You can't believe Washington's minus 220 right now?
Oh, it makes sense to me. Oh.
They weren't quite that high at our book. They were minus 180. Big play on first down, though, by Dallas. That's a deceiving end to that play because CeeDee Lamb stumbles and is off balance going into that, so it looks worse than it was. Gibson with a healthy game.
Wow, man.
So we're going to end up with a third and medium here for Washington. Gibson's had 15 of the first 27 touches for Washington.
As he should. This guy's for real. It's hard to see play. It's nice to see players play violently. Get it. Get it. Wow.
McKissick gets it done on 3rd and 9.
I'm going to give a shout out to Scott Turner. This is a really well well done game.
Well, it's like
no, he didn't, Don. It was the year after Colin Kaepernick went.
I forget which analyst said this, and it might have been Talib now that I think back, but he was talking about how Alex Smith has the ability to carve up a defense if he knows what you're doing before snap. And I can't imagine Dallas defensively is gangbusters. So it's a
Man, Logan Thomas has had a lot of... He's been used a lot during this game.
It's nice to see consistency for Washington from the tight end position, having when healthy, arguably a superstar in Jordan Reed, but it's just nice to see a guy who's been able to play every down. And Logan Thomas is a guy who's jumped around. Like, I feel like he's been on so many teams.
There's no for sure, Don. It's just not how it works. You could shut out the rest of the way. It's very possible. Dwayne Haskins is active. I guess he is.
Logan Thomas has played for Arizona, Miami, the Giants, Detroit, Buffalo, back to Detroit, and now he's been on Washington for this season. Washington's minus 240 now on the live line, so
sounds about right.
This is Dallas has the chance though with this 2-minute warning, and then the ball to start the second half where they could go up 2 scores.
Donnie, or whichever one. Score.
Logan Thomas, they used Logan Thomas in a trick play earlier too. He was able to drop it into Terry McLaurin for a nice gain. I thought he was going to be used like a wildcat quarterback when he came into the league. I was kind of surprised to hear he was being used as the tight end, and I honestly didn't think that he would have a career at tight end, but he's found a home here in Washington. How many wins do the Eagles have? Is it 3?
Yeah, 3. They got a tie, though.
So there's a chance that... So I know the Giants have a decent chance of winning today, but if Washington pulls this off, there's a chance they could take over the division lead already.
The Eagles have a tough game against Seattle. I do like the Eagles in that game, but
well, then the Giants, don't the Giants have a layup? Who do they play?
the injured Bengals. Oh my goodness. The Oprah conversation. Can't wait to line up for that.
I didn't. I'm more than happy. I watched the first game with audio, and I don't watch a lot of games with audio, and watching it reminded me of why I don't want to watch it with audio.
Yeah, this is a nightmare. Even though I don't mind Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, but
All right, Dallas 1st and 10. 2-minute warning. They've got 2 timeouts. Big hit by Thomas Davis on Amari Cooper.
who's still playing. How many years is that for him?
And Chase Young with his, I believe, his first sack of the game. Who's playing left tackle right now for the Cowboys? Is that Knight?
Yeah, Brandon Knight. Enjoy. That was a nice play by both Dalton and Gallup.
They gave him the first down on that?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I'm hoping this goes upstairs because he looked half a yard short.
Yeah, at least.
You don't hear this very often, but Michael Gallup has a great ass. Yeah, Jackson, you're right. No one is cuter than Michael Gallup. Maybe Chase Daniel.
Dylan never gets in those conversations, as ironic as that is.
Dylan's too busy trying to tie his bed sheets to his door handle.
Oh, Big Rye. Holy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
The Perry Project, did they do any Thanksgiving?
Perry did a stream on Twitch, and there's a documentary they released 2 weeks ago that is sending shockwaves. It's called The Two Dans. It's one of the funniest things I have ever witnessed.
I gotta see this.
Oh, you do?
It's 4th and 1. What are they gonna do? I don't know what all the complaints are about. Why does there have to be a full-out conversation with the coaching staff every time a call gets made?
I've never understood that.
Really nice job by Dalton on the sneak. You figure there's going to be a flag thrown, or that's just accepted now. And then Washington with like the world's worst substitution of all time. You remember when Zeke used to have fun playing football? Like, doesn't he just seem miserable now? Like,
yes.
I can't remember a game where I remember him being excited to play. Whereas, like, when he came into the league, he was, like, eating after every yard gained and whatever you want to call it, like, celebrating.
Yeah.
Now that guy celebrates first downs like Marcus Naslund celebrated goals.
Wow, rare hockey reference from Big Rye.
They showed a nice stat earlier on the last game about time of possession and how Detroit had a pretty decent time of possession, but it was because of like quick store turnovers from the offense.
Well, Detroit is just a poorly run team. There's just no question about it. They're not good.
I still like why. How come there's not football being played? Instead, there's just arguments with coaches. Like, can anybody explain this right now? This makes no sense.
This guy's got a good voice, so I'll give him that. Hello, Perva.
What's going on, Apurva? How you doing today? Happy Thanksgiving. We're thankful for all of you guys. You guys make it worth doing.
Absolutely. Going for a bomb. That's got to be a flag. Man. Darby's having a rough game.
This is the thing that's shitty about like having a really strong defense, but then it just takes like one or two plays like this by Darby to change the entire game. And there wasn't a lot there.
He did it. He did do it.
Yeah, there's not a lot there.
I think that's PI. He held his arm and his back, and I think that would have gone for a touchdown.
The arm's what did it for me. But it's just unbelievable that you can get two plays like that, and like there's a good chance Dallas can tie this up and get the ball back to start the second half.
I wouldn't say good chance. Well, it's a reasonable chance, yeah. At least he went out of bounds.
Dalton looked like a deer in headlights there with that blitz, but he managed to find his check down.
They ran that play on first down.
Well, they're going to settle for a field goal now. Who took the timeout here? I'm interested to see. Not that Washington is like a big play team, but
why not?
Dallas took that last timeout, and they left 23 seconds on the clock, and now Washington has both timeouts after this.
Can you explain this one? I have no idea.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy sucks.
Yeah.
I know Jackson was critical of the 2-minute drill for Houston, Detroit. I can't even remember which side it was on, but holy smokes, was it bad at the end of the first half.
Why would you take a timeout there?
I guess maybe they thought about running another play instead of kicking the field goal, but other than that, like it's just bad decision. It's like very snap decision. Like it feels like they were lucky to even have a timeout to call, type of thing. Like I think they just scrambled to call a timeout, probably not knowing what the down and distance was. Like I don't know what else. I don't know what there is. Like you wait till that gets down to 3 seconds, call your timeout, kick the field goal, and end the half. There's no reason to kick this ball back to Washington, and there's no reason that you should allow Washington to keep both timeouts if you're gonna do that. So it's really bad by Dallas. It's probably not going to bite them, but like every win percentage thing that you can do is like you might as well do. Oh yeah. Detroit was driving with the ball. They could have put up points, but for some reason on 3rd and long they didn't call a timeout, so they just ran up and tried to run a play. The other thing too is like Detroit's hurry up offense. It was taking them like 15 to 20 seconds to run plays, which I thought was kind of comical. And even Romo was saying like this ball should be snapped in 10 seconds, and every time it took them 15, 20 seconds to get the play off. It felt like it felt like every skill position player like didn't know what to do. And that's why I said like Sanu looked like the best player on the field, because he was the only guy who somehow was a professional about it. Like he's used to playing in Atlanta and having those comebacks, be a thing. And then Washington, even with 2 timeouts, decides to kneel on this ball with 17 seconds left. Just weird coaching decisions all around.
That one is more forgivable, I think. But you know what I'm thinking, though? I do think that Buck and Landsberg go to the same lip guy.
Fat guy talking about Michael Landsberg.
Host of TSN's Off the Record, a notorious sports show that players and fans alike do not care for. With a host that Big Rye once said is one surgery away from working in Thailand. Oh, man, talking about him and mental health? That sounds about right.
Well, he had I thought that part was good, but like Michael Landsberg used to wear the most makeup I've ever seen a man wear on TV.
Yeah. A man that wasn't on RuPaul's show. Holy.
I was going to say I'm getting a feminine hair product commercial, but I might have to start investing, and you might have to too.
No, I use a brush like a man, a steel brush. It exfoliates by scraping off anything that is not conformed to your head.
I love that every commercial where people aren't wearing masks, they have to specify that the commercial was filmed before.
Is that what they've been doing?
Well, there's a huge thing at the bottom of this saying film before COVID-19.
Oh my God.
That means that somewhere, someplace, people are complaining.
Yeah.
That TV commercials don't have masks.
Big Ryan, let's be honest. I'm gonna get arrested or fined at some point. It's just a matter of time. There's gonna be a hubbub.
I just hope it's not ICBC.
Oh, they never let you out. How much you want to bet I owe $500 on my birthday?
I don't know. I like those odds.
Yeah, exactly. It's been, how long ago was that? 6 years ago? I got a speeding ticket 6 years ago, and I have to pay $580 every year. Otherwise, they take your license. It's unbelievable.
It's definitely a bad return on investment, guys. Wouldn't suggest it.
Getting a speeding ticket in Vancouver. It's not like I was just going to say, you kill one Thai hooker and they never let you forget about it.
What do you think you'd have to do to become the CEO of the Salvation Army?
That's actually a selfless thing because they used to. The CEO of a Salvation Army used to make like $35,000 a year, whereas most charities, I think you can look them up. Most charities, like 95% go to admin. The cancer ones are big for that. The CEO make like $11 million. Like literally, like 5% goes to like cancer research. Oh my! Are we for real? Who is this guy?
I'm not sure.
This guy's popular?
I feel like I'm watching like the NHL All-Star game.
Yeah, no. I feel like this guy was like 10th in phone voting for American Idol 16. What is going on? Well, you can tell he went all in on his music career with tattooing his hands and neck. Maybe that's what I should do to commit to the channel. Get my digits tattooed. Get a big dragon or something on my neck. That's cool, right?
You should be the first person in history to get their cell phone number tattooed on their forehead.
I think Mike Jones did that digitally already. I think I called that drunk like last year. I can't. This performance is insane.
They could probably let a couple ugly cheerleaders slip by this year with COVID.
Yeah, of course. Dude, I feel like I'm watching a mall concert. You remember those when you were a kid?
No.
Fucking they'd have Raffi or some shit like that.
Raffi's like well respected. This is
yeah, I know. Raffi takes huge bong tokes on Pender Island or whatever, Salt Spring Island.
Yeah.
Oh, I met a guy that's friends with Raffi.
That's something.
He lived on Salt Spring Island. He says it's not hard to do. He keeps to himself though for the most part.
I could see that. At this point, it's harder to become friends with me than it is Raffi.
Yeah, I know. I think you got your wish, though.
Yeah, life's good.
I think you think you're on the no-call list, finally. Took a while.
Took
you 5 years.
Some people just don't get the clue.
Yeah.
You're missing an Unreal halftime show. You took a 5-unit play on Houston when you saw Swift was out?
DeAndre Swift tipped it for you?
That definitely wouldn't have been a recommendation from
But
the fat guy and I.
Can't argue with results.
But congrats, it's a nice win. Oh, now we got the drum line out.
He's playing the drums too, so he's versatile.
I'm pretty sure that that girl worked at a local bar recently. How did they get this solid 5 up on stage to duet with this well manscaped dude? Lions were so beat up as well. Plus Stafford had like 4 days to recover from thumb. Yeah, I didn't see a ton of value either side. Sharps were pushing towards Houston, but it's hard to take a road favorite, especially when that team's won 3 games in the season. But the Texans got it done.
What is going on?
This goes back to like the NFL demographics and who watches. I really have a hard time believing that that males 18 to 55 are watching this, and
we
like
are
this.
and enjoying it.
Well, other than you and I just don't know who else is loving this right now.
Oh my goodness!
Is he singing or rapping?
I don't know. It's country or I don't know. We're not very cultured, Big Ray, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, this explains the cheerleaders outside of the stadium. I thought it was like the B team. Is this just one huge Ford commercial? I'm seeing a bunch of trucks.
That could have been it. Yeah.
It's country rap.
Oh my
so
goodness!
Is this guy related to Bubba Sparks? I didn't get to hear any of that. I don't know. It might have been really good. I'm going to have to pull it together for this second half. Well, we probably still have like another 10 minutes till kickoff, so I'm going to grab a drink.
Holy, they just had Oscar Pistorius in a President's Choice. President's Choice is this weird grocery chain in Canada. It's like a little bit above Walmart. It's like trying to be Costco, but look like Walmart. Anyways, they had a guy with 2 prosthetic limbs in the commercial, and they made it obvious that he did. What is going on? What is going on? If you use a regular white family, I swear that must be against the law or something. I'm not saying that they should. There's nothing wrong with that. Guy won the party, won the part. It's just bizarre. It's like they go out of their way to like try and look good, companies. It's just insane. That's why, you know what company I really like? I went recently. 5 Guys Burgers and Fries. It's just standard. This is what we have. This is what it is. You can get peanuts, extra fries in the bag, no frills. It's perfect. Same thing every time. I love 5 Guys. I want a store that sells one thing. And we're slowing down on this broadcast. I'm just trying to wake up, trying to snap out of it. Now we got this 40-minute halftime. Yeah, you could call it that. Yeah, it was 2 really good taco burritos. Oh, Redskin. He said Redskin on Thanksgiving. Michael Strahan. Yikes. Was he going to have to write an apology now? Oh, beef. We went beef today. Yeah, yeah, I guess. What happened to all this? Like, I don't know. Big Rye cares less about this type of stuff, but it just drives me nuts. Say what you want, do what you want. I love freedom. Yeah, whatever. I don't mind getting insulted. I find it funny, actually. Think about this. If you have a YouTube channel, the whole 90% of it in the first get going is getting insulted. You know what I mean? You're trash. You don't do this well. You don't do that well. That's what it is. That's really what it is. You know, I could take it. I guess, I don't know. People are sensitive or whatever. Mind you, I had a different high school experience. I swear that's where all this comes from. I was a little pussy wimp in like the 8th grade, and then I became a monster. And I did MMA and stuff, so then I was like the mean bully for the rest of high school. And I guess I have a very Chad outlook, I guess you could say. It's like Revenge of the Nerds in a weird way. People are sensitive, yeah. I like those movies, Revenge of the Nerds. Wish it was more fun like that. Yeah, I know people are. They wouldn't have made it in my house. With my dad around, there's just 0 chance. I'd be in tears every day. It's great. It worked out. Great relationship with him. Him and I sound like, me and my father sound like two New York, like labor union leaders. Just riffing all the time. I can't say some of the words on stream, but you can imagine. Yeah.
I've got a Strathcona Beach Rattler here, so things are about to get lit.
You firing it up, Big Rye?
Yeah.
Where do you even get stuff like that?
We're doing a Thanksgiving drinking game, so come up with some stuff right now.
Mickey Hill, Andy bullying after the school system. Yeah, there was.
Look what it did to the fat guy and I, Mickey.
You never got bullied. You were considered funny. You were liked. I was the bully, but I never picked on the weak. I always bullied the other bullies. I was a shakedown guy.
Yeah. It helps being whatever you are, like 6'9", 400, 400 pounds.
No, I was 6'5" to a 210, 220 in high school. Which was, that does go a long way for that kind of stuff. You had to be funny, or as girls call it, weird.
Yeah. That fat guy's making a callback where Norm Macdonald, and they were talking about how girls always want a guy that's funny, but no girl ever called him funny. He's just weird.
He's just weird.
One of
the funniest guy of all time is weird. Yeah.
Bullies are the wolves of the high school ecosystem.
You need them. You need them.
I can tell Mickey's probably bullied a couple guys in his time.
Oh,
that's my guess.
You face wash some of the kids. Ours was very we had a heavy South Asian population. A lot of people from India in my school, and there is a lot of race stuff, and then you had the white guys fighting the brown guys. You end up getting along at the end of the day, right? Hockey, that was the best. We used to have a racial hockey game every year, and that settled a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. There's always one good fist fight in those. Those were great. They do anti-bullying pledges now. Oh, it's just... I'm not saying bullying is great and it obviously hurts people or whatever, but it kind of preps you for the real world, because in the business world, no one is nice. Everyone's out to get you, out to skin you. Think about it. If you want to buy an appliance, you have to do just buying an appliance, a washer and dryer. You have to do a full model comparison, decide who's lying to you the least. Think about it when you buy anything now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a PC and they don't care about you. It's just the way the world works. And I wouldn't have it any other way. They had to sign a plan. Oh, my goodness. They would have had my father in the principal's office. What is this paper?
Never such a strong word, too.
Pledge. They wear purity rings, too?
I plan.
He's right.
Now that weirdos have run amok, there is a positive correlation between bullying pledges and anime.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys might be able to make
there's
sense
a big
of it.
X right in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's something between bullies and manga. I don't know what it is.
Huge correlation. Absolutely. Oh, Airborne, I'm going to watch this.
The best part is like, I always, like, I feel like those pledges are meant to like one kid shouldn't beat up the rest of the kids, which I'm fine with. I don't think kids should be beating each other up. Fat guy would probably disagree.
No, you need... Because not everyone understands words. That's just the way it goes. I wish you could.
That is true.
It just, a lot of people don't understand words. So what choice do you have? But point in case, that changes over your lifetime. What the last real fight I was in 11 years ago, right? And that was over someone tried to rob my family's liquor store. And that was for real. Didn't work out for him, gotta say. But that's the last one I was in because it was super, super, super dangerous.
The last fight you were in was with me, and that was about 5 years ago. And
you would have been dead if I caught you. You were gonna get a body and leg pounding. You would have been Rick James on the couch.
What am I gonna do about my legs, fat guy?
That's exactly. I was gonna do that. I was gonna pound on your legs for sure. No face shots. I can't ruin the money, right?
Sure. I would have signed up for micro wrestling.
You would have had to, man. I would have had to wheel you around to your appointments, all that stuff. Or maybe I could just put you on a dolly. It'd be a lot easier, right?
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Wheel around like Hannibal Lecter.
You could call me the suitcase.
Yeah. Somehow I lost that fight against you. Well, I really lost against the couch from seizing up.
Yeah,
But
I'll call it a draw. How about that?
I couldn't even move. It was the funniest thing ever. I've never had a body part seize on me. I don't think my twitch muscles have been used very much.
It's all part of the grand wizardry. All right, 2nd and 4 for the Cowboys, who start with the ball.
They're talking about Dallas is doubling Terry McLaurin a lot, and is that a surprise?
Oh,
I think Washington has that. Oh, maybe 69's got it. Oh, he does it. Allen has it in his hands.
They called
Allen
him
did come
down.
up with it.
I don't think he was down though before that ball came
I don't think
out.
he was either. No, he
Ball
wasn't.
is out.
Ball is out. Challenge
So
Washington.
I'm guessing there's a clear recovery. I know Allen came up with the ball.
He hit the leg.
What a job. Who punched that out?
I got to see it again. Jonathan Allen has that ball, and that is a clear fumble. I'm going to watch Airborne.
I'm guessing because we're seeing
probably tonight before bed. Jay, thank you.
So many replays of this, they've already challenged. Because I don't think Dallas is just sitting around waiting for this. Awesome. This is great. This
How
is
you do it.
A terrific start to the second half. I'm excited for the second half for Washington. Starting to regret doing a 3-unit play on Cowboys.
Dude.
Well, it's still early. There's still a lot that could happen.
Brett's gambling next Thanksgiving on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they can't afford it. They can't afford to have injuries on the O-line.
This is the worst team to have it against. They're relentless.
And Cameron Irving is not a strong player to have to start with.
He's not a starting caliber NFL player.
So to have someone have to come in and be his backup, I know is it
replacement?
What's his name? Knight.
Brandon Knight.
It is Brandon Knight. Wasn't that the same name as a NBA point guard back in the early 2000s? I think that's why.
Eden Jets.
I think that's
on the Redskins money line. I like it.
Yeah, same spelling too. Interesting.
Yeah, safety's not. You got to be careful with some of these positions. They don't actually impact very much, and some of it's built in the line already, right?
We're with you, Eden. We're on the
Redskins
Washington
money
line,
which I think is going to the probability is going to increase after Big Rye taking a heavy swig there.
I'm going hard. This is a sprint, not a marathon now.
You're Owen Hart? Hey, I was thinking we should do some zip lining. Owen, what are you thinking? We hope, Eden. Jack's convinced that Brandon Knight.
Is there two Brandon Knights, or am I thinking of a completely different player? Because there's...
Brandon Knight does play for the Pistons. And Brandon Knight is the offensive lineman we're talking about. He's a UDFA from last year.
I think I'm getting players mixed up now.
No.
I thought there was a different Brandon Knight.
Whoa! Redskins! That was caused by Daron Payne's...
punched it out.
He punched it out?
He punched it out.
I thought it was his leg.
Play. No, he punched it out.
I can't see it.
I thought it was Payne. He's part of the Drummond trade. I don't know why. I'm getting him confused with someone else, and I'm not going to remember who it is.
We're confused a lot with Dylan in this channel.
Oh, I'm certain if Dylan's here.
No confusion, eh?
No. No hesitation. No surrender. Good tackle by Van Der Esch there.
99 is a chunky monkey.
Somehow Alex Smith only has 70 yards passing through the first half.
What? That's actually a good stat. With no turnovers, that means you're doing something right. McLaurin. You get your best player and Scary Terry's awesome.
Yeah, it is all he needed. It's just surprising. It feels like he's played a lot better, but stats are deceiving.
That's a good thing. Why people don't understand that. Like, I don't know, quarterback passing is almost negatively correlated. But guys that throw over 500 yards usually lose. Isn't that funny?
Josh Allen with an interesting point on the Discord. He said that Zeke has the most lost fumbles in the league this year at 5.
It's very interesting. I mean, it's his usage kind of correlates, but I think there could be underlying factors. Oh, geez. Oh, he jumped on it. Good job.
Yeah, you prefer Smith to be able to like manage the game, and
yeah, they're not going to win if he has to sling it. But
I was questioning earlier why they don't play tighter coverage and closer to the line of scrimmage and force him to play.
Joe Gibbs is a former coach of the Redskins.
Second and 16 for Washington.
That was awesome. And that's a first down. Dontrell. Dallas is playing actual reasonable defense. I think this is a good performance. Oh, good job, Inman. No, I don't think he's getting more than 220, really. Snap the ball! Man.
The Washington wasn't set yet, so they couldn't snap the ball.
I know, but
Dallas used a timeout. They didn't need to, but they did.
Randy Gregory dove for the finish line there.
I like that. That's a balls to wall hustle play. That's excellent to see from Gregory. The thing is though is that Dallas is going to need these timeouts if they're going to be coming from behind in this game.
They're insane. What's the value on a timeout used in this way? The expected value.
Well,
I swear you lose 5%. I swear. Maybe 3, because at the end of the game, sometimes they're worth, because at the end of the game, sometimes they're worth 20%.
Well, at the end of a game, it can be worth 100%. Like it could be the difference between a win and a loss. Yeah. It's hard to quantify exactly what it would mean.
But there's an extra chance of what it's worth.
It could be an extra 40 seconds on the clock if you need to stop the clock later. Washington stays with the same play, and it gets absolutely blown up. So it's going to be a long field goal attempt here. Washington is not happy with... Oh, it's because Lawrence jumped early on that play. Somehow that was only a 9-yard loss. It felt like a lot longer.
That was offside. Slightly, though.
Field goal is good, so that puts Washington back up to a 7-point lead.
It was an offside that didn't get called offside.
Not usually a play that the refs miss. They're usually pretty good with those, like the offside or the false start calls. But I need Dallas to answer here for a shot at over. Yeah, still lots of time left in this game. Let's see what the live OU is 52.5. Washington minus 270 on the money line. I feel like that is very, very high, even though they're up 7.
They're not. I don't think they're confident in Dallas's offense.
You like whoever made the Dolomite is my name reference in the picks contest?
I saw that movie once. I was lukewarm on it. I'm going to take a look. It's one of my favorite things, actually, is the name of the week. I've been cheating lately, though, and looking a little early.
The names are excellent. They make me...
Yeah.
There's like always a handful that make me laugh.
Oh, yeah. I would say that we usually do.
Still lots of time, lots of possessions left on, so impossible to say. Even like the over-under spread, money line, it's all up in the air. Brett, we usually take underdogs. We just like, we're contrarian, so we like the opposite of what other people like, and it just tends that other people usually like favorites.
The uninformed. Jamal Ginsburg, the Hasidic homeboy.
Eden said he wished he nibbed the under at halftime. Yeah, that's what I was thinking after watching for a while.
There's a bunch of great ones here.
Definitely check out Airborne Fat Guy, ultimate bully movie, totally under the radar movie of the 90s. If he hasn't seen it, then I definitely haven't.
Yeah, Big Rye's honestly seen his movie count, I'm not even joking, is in the 2 digits. I would say under 80 movies. I'm not even joking. His entire life.
And I've actually watched a lot of movies lately because of Mystery Science Theater 3000, and that's like, do those even count?
I don't
They're
know.
not even movies. They're all B movies or whatever they're called. Lots of room here for Zeke. Running
Airborne's
with
going to be the
authority
movie tonight, for sure.
What's up, Indy?
Hey,
Happy
Indy, how are you?
Thanksgiving to you. I think they're called B movies, like the letter B, and it's they're just movies that are bad. I don't know how else to explain it.
They're lower budget movies.
Yeah. It's like you watch them for the irony on like how bad they're made.
Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're very well made, but I mean, it's rare.
Play action with Dalton. A nice completion to Gallup. It's going to be 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 2.
Oh, he made a joke about Seinfeld's B movie. I almost said something about that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jax, have you ever heard of... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that the BEE movie is like been an ongoing meme on the internet for a long time, so I couldn't tell. If you were talking about that or actually we didn't know.
It seemed like a reference to Seinfeld 2000, if anyone's ever seen that Twitter account, which might be the best Twitter account of all time. And Seinfeld 2000's book called The Apple Store, which is one of my favorite pieces of literature that's ever existed.
I still prefer Coffee Dad as the best Twitter account of all time.
Coffee Dad is up there for best Twitter account of all time. That was my favorite for many years. Oh, I wasn't allowed to watch Disney movies, Jackson. Believe it or not. My dad was worried it would turn you into a pussy.
Boy, was he wrong.
Yeah. Boy, was he wrong. Exactly. I got to see if Coffee Dad's still in play.
I checked it out. I don't think they've sent a lot lately, but they still have.
September 24th.
Yeah, what did they say?
Okay. There's 6 intermittent trying coffee, needing a coffee, got coffee, a bee, having some coffee, fear is an illusion, something bigger is about to bloom. There's like 10 coffee things in a row. Time moves impossibly fast. Nothing is forever. 10 more different coffee ones, maybe 20. Death is only the beginning. Soon.
The thing that you guys don't understand is that these tweets are like, they can be like a year and a half apart.
Big sack here by the Redskins.
It is a bummer that Baltimore-Pittsburgh is postponed, but huge sack by the Washington, and Washington's going to get the ball back up 7. This is a nice spot.
Okay, there's 30 coffees in a row. Then my dog is sick. I got to find one about his son. And then another 20. And then the warmer months means motorcycles are back on the road. Please do not take a single second of your life for granted. Rest gently, my baby. Best Twitter account ever, Coffee Dad. And Seinfeld 2000. We got the ball back.
Yeah, it is. These times are definitely nice if you're in one of the European time zones. It's kind of like the perfect, what is it? It's got to be close to midnight or 1 a.m.
Deep Thoughts by Coffee Dad. Yeah, scroll through. It's very funny.
The Cowboys are sloppy. They're a poorly coached team, and they've got a bad offensive line. It's just not a good combination. Dak is quite a good player.
Yeah, I think he's in there.
Yeah, this hasn't been a very inspired first half of the season for Dallas. Like, we're past the first half of the season. Like, the season's almost done, and it's just not been good enough for McCarthy. Think about, like, Dak Prescott has to play like an MVP candidate for this team to have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Like, that's tough.
I mean, Jim Tomasula won 5 games, so anything's possible.
it's a when you start going through coaches, like there's even some of the more poor teams, like the coaching isn't that bad. Let's look at
there's some bad articles out about Zach Taylor, which I'm curious about. Yeah, I've never understood why you on 4th and short why you don't run it. I'd rather I just don't get it.
So Jets are in last place. I think it's safe to say Gase is in the bottom 5. Patricia's in the bottom 5. In Jacksonville, it just hasn't been. They had a lot, and they somehow managed to squander it away. I don't think Zach Taylor's in the bottom 5, but Zach Taylor's in the bottom 10, I'd say. The Falcons obviously got an interim coach. Washington's
Texans.
next up. Rivera's not a bottom 5.
No,
coach.
He's not.
McCarthy is for sure bottom 10. Anthony Lynn with the Chargers. There's a team. That's
Close.
a team that could make a turnaround, I feel like, if they did get a better coach.
He's had some positives though. That's
I think Joe Judge is on the positive side of moving up.
I would say so.
Cornell's near the bottom as a head coach.
He knows that though.
Yeah.
He's not trying to do that.
Matt Rule with the Panthers is
right at the top.
Arguably coach of the year candidate.
What a throw. Man, is that McLaurin again?
Yep.
Well, it was underrated. I don't think Joe Judge has been pathetic. I thought he's done a pretty good job, to be honest. They've fought in every game. He made a change at offensive line coach because of differing philosophies. Didn't feel they were pulling their weight. I feel like it's a very like college type run team as far as like attitude. But I don't mind Judge at all. Look, there's no stupid drop sheet on taped to the floor.
For that Giants team and that roster, Joe Judge has done a very good job this year. He's not quite like coach of the year candidate, but
no,
it's
been
fine. Respectable. He deserves another year or two.
Progressing, yeah. Fangio's down there too. He's too old.
Belichick's good. Shanahan's good. Zimmer's fine. Like Zimmer's average or above average.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy's an interesting one. I feel like Matt
he's
Nagy,
down there.
I feel like that offense should be a lot better by now. Like that's an offensive coach on that team, and let me just search by. They're the second worst offense in the league. They're only worse than the Jets. I don't know how that's possible with that defense and that team. Or with him as an offensive coach, it just doesn't make sense.
That's how you do it. No negative yardage, Alex Smith. That's beautiful.
Dolphins to me have maybe a top five in Flores. Ravens has good coaching. Gruden's definitely not top or bottom 10. Kingsbury's done better than we thought he would.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians has had success in the past. Kevin Stefanski's looked fine. The Seahawks, obviously Pete Carroll's done well. Mike Vrabel's done well. Frank Reich's done well. I always forget the name of the Packers coach, but he's done an excellent job.
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur has done awesome.
He doesn't meddle. That's what Matt LaFleur does. He doesn't meddle too much, which is like whatever is successfully kind of like lets it ride out.
Sean McDermott's done an excellent job in Buffalo.
He's up there, yeah.
McVay with the Rams has done a good job. Payton with the Saints, Andy Reid, and Mike Tomlin. So
those are strong. Those are all strong.
So I could see up to 10 coaching changes this offseason.
Sweet River Boys.
Bloodbath, what's going on? Happy American Thanksgiving, Bloodbath. Jackson's got Gase, Patricia, McCarthy, Doug Marrone, and Anthony Lynn as his bottom 5.
What's going on here? Hey, dude, look, snap the ball. Look at it. Oh. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
McLaurin might get him. What a job from Terry McLaurin. I can't believe that just happened though.
Alex Smith has had a couple plays like this where he's made a throw off his back foot, and that one came to bite him. But that's a game-changing play right there. This gives Dallas a very good opportunity.
I think he was trying to throw that away, man.
He had a guy that he was locked into that he made throw to McLaurin, but he got hit while he threw it, so interception.
Dude, Scary Terry saved a touchdown.
Well, luckily, Scary Terry, one of the fastest players in the league, was able to make that tackle.
Is he? I thought he wasn't that. I thought he was a 4.5 guy.
I think he's 4.3.
If he's a 4.3, that looked like 4.3 speed to me. Why didn't they blow that dead earlier? Four, 3, 5. Yeah, that's fast. How do you go in the 3rd round? Like considering that the impetus on receivers lately.
I don't know enough about his college career,
something.
But I don't think he was. I can't remember if he just wasn't that productive, or he might have been super productive and just small. A big reverse here.
Dude, Lamb was gonna throw it. Number 20 did an awesome job stopping that throw.
Reeves with the tackle. I was impressed with that tackle.
They have 2 negative plays. 20. Because that was supposed to be a pass to Dalton. What a play by 20. Oh, right on. Dude, this defense. Good job, guys. I think it got tipped or it got knocked out of his hands.
We'll get a better look at it here. Yeah, there was some type of hand fighting going on, but Lamb did have a pretty good chance
he could have
at
caught that. That almost got intercepted.
Gotta catch that, says Untouchable.
He's right. Washington. Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin saved 4 points.
He sure did.
MVP of the Skins offense, without question.
He's a good player.
It wasn't. Yeah, it is like the Metcalf touchdown. It wasn't quite the same, but it was decent. Yeah, he ran a 4.35. Big Rye. That's
in college. I don't know if you can see these stats, fat guy, on the live stream, but
no.
He wasn't very productive in college. He had 0 catches his first year.
Freshman, yeah.
11 catches his second year, 29 catches, 35 catches. So only 75 catches in college, 1,251 yards.
Maybe he was hurt.
He did have 19 touchdowns, though, which is surprising. But he just wasn't...
well, he must have blew off the top in those few catches. Because what? Look, hold on. The senior year, how many was it?
Well, he had a 20-yard average in his senior year.
35 receptions, and 11 of them went for touchdowns.
But he's been a lot more productive in the NFL, which, like, how many
that doesn't happen often.
Players can you say that about?
He barely played, it looks like.
Like, he might beat his entire college output in his
rookie season. Aside from the touchdowns.
His second season. He had 919 yards last year, 7 touchdowns.
That's awesome. That's almost Pro Bowl caliber, Big Rye.
Well, for a rookie season, that's excellent. This year, he's almost matched his yard totals in 4 less games. And he's got 3 touchdowns so far. What's the live OU? Let me take a look. It's 49.5. So 49 with the juice is pretty much.
They missed the pat.
It was they got held to a field goal.
Oh, right. Sorry. I don't know why I just lost my mind.
Terry was underrated. I think people have a very healthy respect for him now.
Man, that was unreal. That was so good. Dude, why didn't Van Der Esch cornhole him, though? Maybe he was going too fast. Alex Smith owes dinner to Terry McLaurin for that one. Van Der Esch could have, if he was running hard enough, could have KO'd him. Looks like another tight end.
Van Der Esch looks like he should be playing on the Cowboys in the Little Giants movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forget what that kid's name is.
He's Ed O'Neill's son.
No, he's not. He's got a different dad.
Was it the military dad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who looks like the guy with the crew cut in Street Fighter.
Yeah. Good job, Smith. No, Guile. Guile with a crew cut.
So 3rd and 18 for Washington. This isn't looking good. I'm expecting like a dump off here to McKissick. Screen to McLaurin. We're going to get a punt from Washington. I wish Terry could have gotten fantasy points for saving that touchdown.
Oh, man. Some of these guys in the Little Giants turned out exactly how you'd think they were. Oh, Spike became gay. I'm going to have to jump off here in a moment, Big Ray.
It's all good.
Life comes at you fast.
You got to take care of business.
Yeah. Probably in a minute or two. Probably the quarter is probably good.
So Dallas decides not to run a play before the end of the quarter.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I got a prior engagement. I got to be at 5, but the tacos are working, so that's why I'm probably going to jump off a moment early. All right. Cheers, gentlemen. I'll catch you later. Can I end the Zoom, Big Ryan? It'll work still?
Yep.
I will be doing that.
I'll catch you later.
See you later.
The fat guy's gone for the rest of the stream, so it's just me now for this fourth quarter. I'm excited for this fourth quarter, though. I'm invested in Washington. I really want them to do well. I like how their team's built. I like that they've spent all their draft capital on defensive linemen. I like that they have Alex Smith as their quarterback. So I'm hoping for good things for Washington. Patricia on a short week, Thanksgiving, easy fade. It's looking like an easy decision now. It's so hard to know what you're going to get from both of those teams week to week. From the coaching's perspective, from the quarterbacks, everywhere else. Cup up football team. Yeah, this is going to be a good quarter. Tanking exists, but it's tanking has to be done from like top down, because there's no player is going to willingly play bad, because every player is like, every time a player jumps on and takes a snap, like it's film footage of them. People are researching that information to make personnel decisions. So it's the like jobs are on the line. But think about how the Miami Dolphins tanked last year. because the Miami Dolphins last year essentially had very, very little NFL experience in their roster compared to all the rest of the rosters. So with the team that they had, like, they were going to lose games, and they did lose games at the start of the year, but it just so happens that Brian Flores is turned out to be one of the best coaches in the league. And he's been able to develop talent and be able to get the most out of the players that he's brought in. That's why, like, you kind of laugh when you see some of these teams that actually had decent rosters and the coaches come and they somehow get worse. So it just shows you the difference it can make. Big play by Andy Dalton on 3rd and 2 to pick up the first down, and he is jacked about that. Oh, no player's trying to lose. But if you have enough bad players, like, you're probably going to lose. And Zap said Watson's been consistently great, just on a bad team with a bad O-line and no running game. Like, Watson didn't start the year out that great, but I know what you mean. He's been a lone bright spot on that team. And I did say earlier, you don't know what you're going to get from those quarterbacks. Like, I was speaking a little bit in hyperbole when considering Watson, because Watson is a good player. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But it's still, like, it's just so inconsistent everywhere else on that team that you just don't know what you're going to get from Houston week to week. Well, like, Dalton's 63-1, I think, for his career. Like, Dalton's a winning quarterback. Like, he might not be the best or everyone's favorite. The biggest problem is this Dallas offensive line, and it hurts the more injuries they pick up. But, like, Dallas had to go back to the drawing board and come up with a plan after what happened to them against Washington the last time around. The problem is that no matter how good the coaching is, like, how many adjustments can they make? Like, how many of these quick hitter throws can Dalton hit? How much can the O-line like hold up for him to have time to make those throws? You also have to remember, like, Dallas has put up 16 points. One of it was just terrible coverage. Another one, there was like, Darby just gave up twice, essentially. Not gave up, but, like, he had his terrible play that led to the touchdown, and then he also had the pass interference that led to more points, or at least an attempted points. I can't remember how that drive finished. Yeah, the NBA does it. It's so much easier in the NBA too, and it's very obvious when teams are trying to tank. And, like, in the NBA, having a top 5 pick means a lot. Fake punt here by Dallas. And they are not going to get it. I don't mind them trying to go for a fake. That was just not done very well. And I think it's Jim Fassel. I forget his first name, but that's actually the best special teams coordinator in the league right there. But the execution of that play was poor. I think it's Jim Fassel. Yeah, Jim Fassel's longtime special teams coordinator of the Rams. Really, really good coach. Dallas will always be Dallas. There was a lot of, as I said earlier, a lot of drunk uncles are betting on the Cowboys today. Cowboys are a very popular pick for a Thanksgiving Thursday game. Yeah, that's funny, Jackson. Yes, Zaps, I'm on Washington money line. I did 1 unit on the money line. I think I got it plus 125. Andy Dalton should retire. I don't think Andy Dalton should retire. I think Andy Dalton is actually one of the most serviceable backups in the league. The issue for Dallas is the offensive line. The offensive line definitely needs help. It's the same thing with Chicago. Like, Chicago would actually be one of the better teams in the league if they had a better offensive line. Where is Pollard? Stop using Zeke. Well, they paid Zeke all that money. They got to get him some snaps. But they definitely should be mixing in Pollard. Pollard has done, I think, exceedingly better every time I see him play. Good job with containment by 47. Also, I don't know, like, obviously that punter isn't coached up well, but that punter made no attempt at making that block. This looks good. Gibson touchdown, and I think he gave it the old peace sign as well as he galloped into the end zone. McCarthy should be fired. Dallas has said that they're going to give McCarthy a longer leash, like he's going to be back next year. But we'll see. Oh, he waved. Gibson's played really well this year, and I don't know. I don't like that. He did it. It's done. He got in. He didn't fumble, so it didn't cost him. This makes it... It's just squeaks in that extra point. It's an 11-point game with 12 minutes left. Dallas still has 2 timeouts. Gibson's been good. He's had a very, very good rookie season. I have Gibson in every one of my fantasy leagues. He was rated very, very highly coming in with the analytics that I created for fantasy. So I'm really happy to see him performing well. From how that reverse went, it looked like it was designed to be like a pass, but it was just a weird play. I play the fat guy in our money league, and I had Deshaun Watson and Antonio Gibson today, so I've put up 54 fantasy points with my first 2 players. It's not looking good for him. Dallas with the touchback, so Dalton will start with the ball at the 25. Yeah, R.I.P. fat guy. It's going to be tough. Yeah, Indy, they already, I forget who it was in the Dallas organization. It was one of the Joneses. They said that McCarthy is going to be back next year. And I don't think that's great. But the problem with Dallas starts with Jerry Jones, and they want a yes man at head coach, and Mike McCarthy's a yes man. So this is what they've got. Inherited very little on defense. It's true. Like, the defensive line is actually star-studded. They have quite a few excellent players. Linebackers are pretty damn good too. So the secondary could probably use a little bit of work. And Like, the offensive line is really what's killing them. They had, like I said earlier, Dak Prescott has to be like Dak Prescott has to play like an MVP every game for them to have a chance to win. And it just shows you, like, you're just not getting that same. You're not getting the same amount of quarterback play and production from Andy Dalton that you would get from Dak Prescott. And that's no slight on Andy Dalton. It just shows you how well. Dak Prescott has played. But this is a tale of you've got one team that hasn't or has been really unlucky at the offensive line position health-wise, and another team that's invested a lot in a defensive line, and it really does make a difference. It changes the entire game. The coaching has to be stellar for this to work, and the coaching just isn't good enough from a strategy perspective to get past it. Yeah, Dak is younger than Dalton. Like, we already got to see Andy Dalton play on a team that has below average talent on both sides of the ball, and it didn't work out for Cincinnati. You think Dallas gave up? I don't think they've given up. I just think that Dallas is so limited in what they can do offensively against this defense. It's just such a huge mismatch. Washington's defensive line against Dallas's offensive line. And they picked up 2 injuries today. Zach Martin's out. I know Cameron Irving was questionable to return. He might have returned, but he's definitely not playing. Like, Brandon Knight's been lining up at left tackle as far as I can tell. So, like, here's a 3rd and 11. We'll see if they can block this play up for Dalton to have enough time to make a throw. The pocket collapses. Dalton has to come. So Dalton has to take a step backwards there and then make a throw essentially off his back foot, and then it's off target. So you can see how that defensive line is able to get pressure right up the middle and throw Dalton off his spot, off his I can't tell if that was a 3 or 5 step drop, but now Dalton, you see that he has to throw off his back foot, and it gives Darby that extra split second to make that play back on the ball. So we get a punt here. 9:30 left in this game. So for Washington, this is a time of possession game now with 9:30 left on offense. They want to use up as much of the clock as they can, hopefully drain some of these timeouts from the Cowboys, and ideally put up 3 or 7 to finish this drive. But if they manage to get like a 4 or 5 minute drive and a touchdown, then that seals this game up. Dallas doesn't have a chance to come back and win. On the live line, the Washington football team is minus 1,400. Dallas is plus 851. The live over under is 50.5. It does suck that there's no night game. So you've been cooking for 14 hours. What did you cook? I know earlier you said you love some sort of like beans, something. Oh, you worked? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I get you now. Thanksgiving a busy day for you? Well, that's good. It's good that you're able to be open on Thanksgiving. Nice to make those few bucks. So Gibson able to get, it looked like maybe half a yard on that play. 1 yard. 1 yard or so. All holidays are busy for me, which is good and bad. It's good. It might feel bad, but it's a good thing. AP said, I like Jalen and Lawrence and Van Der Esch is fine, but then not much else for me. They've got some of those core pieces, but they need to draft. They just have so many holes to fill. I'm not sure what's going on with their offensive line because it went from being such a strength to I just don't understand who's injured or guys done. Like, I need to do a little more research into that. Any college basketball action? Not yet, Zaps. I did spend a lot of time in the off season collecting a lot of the college sports data, but I haven't taken the time to like comb through and really see if I can find any value in Marketplace. So it's one of those things. I need to spend more time to be able to come onto a show like this and give advice. There is a lot of data though. Like a college, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but like one college basketball season could make up for 10 years of NFL data. Like there's just so many more college games and college teams. So you can get a lot of data fast, but I don't know how much that data is going to pay off market-wise year to year. Gibson is playing really well. I know the fact I was excited earlier, but he's like a surprisingly north-south player who likes. I couldn't tell if he liked the contact, but he's definitely not shied away from contact. I talked about it earlier. Like he's been used limited, like he's been kind of used as like a 50% touchback for his first, whatever it is, 11 games, his first 10 games. But he looks very healthy. And you can't go wrong with turkey in football. Thanksgiving's a fun day, and then we got Black Friday tomorrow. It's a good time. Good time of the year. Fourth and 1 for Washington, and they are lining up to go for it. I love this. At the very least, just like drain the clock down. Dallas jumped earlier in the game and they didn't get called, I wouldn't have minded Washington taking it down to like 1 and pretending to hut the ball to try to get them to jump again. Alex Smith is a huge favorite right now for comeback player of the year. I think he's like minus 300. I'm super happy about it. I'm super happy that he's back and he looks healthy and he's playing well. Andy, that's a good question. I'm not sure. And they pick up the first down. That's big. Like, I know Washington is favored to win this game, but like, this is how you win games. Like, this is when you make plays like this on 4th down, like, you deserve to win games. Andy, I forgot if I said it, but I don't do much sopping, so it's hard for me to say. I like the I know Amazon has like their day. I forget what it's called, but it always seems like everything on sale and stuff is always the garbage stuff. Hopefully Alex Smith runs this. He should have stayed in bounds, and I think he kind of realized it at the last second. But he should have stayed in and slid to keep the clock running. Yeah, I forgot about Cyber Monday. Prize going to be 2-2. Oh, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Dylan. You got to get that shirt. Third and 6. They not only run for the first down, Gibson gets the touchdown. In the league where they play. So this is 2 games now where the Cowboys were favored against the Washington football team that they're going to lose outright. And Gibson's played great. 34-16. I'm guessing that's if the over wasn't hit, the over is definitely hit now. That's 50. Still 3:31 left. But if Dallas doesn't put up points, that's probably going to be it for the score. Hey, 2-0 is a good start. there's nothing wrong in talking a little trash while you're on top, but you got to be willing to put up with the criticism when it doesn't work out too. The most important stat is the overall leaderboard. It's that overall, Dylan. That's where you need to make your... That's where you put some respect on your name. I didn't tell if that was an interception or if that was a fumble. Intercepted. Yeah, it's tough, Dylan. Fat guy's got things in life to go do, so he's got to go do them. Dylan, I thought you were going to go like 60% this year, 70%. I forget what you said at the start of the year. But this is a rout now for Washington. They've it looks like they've taken live betting down for this game, so we are 14-2 to the Dogs on the video picks. Yeah, I think we only had two favorites this week: the Giants and Kansas City. Yeah, Dylan, it's picking games is not easy. Yeah, the experience helps. Just updating the leaderboards. Guys, give me one moment. So the majority in the pick contest is going to go 2-0. 54% of people took Houston minus 2.5. 56% took Washington +3. Both road teams not only cover but win outright as well. Fourth and 4 for the Cowboys. And they're stopped short. So Washington's going to get the ball back. Dallas still has 2 timeouts, but I got a feeling they might just let this one go. I'll refresh these leaderboards. There we go, Dylan. You're tied for first, 2-0. Washington has a good upcoming team with a good head coach. I think that's a fair assessment. It's the combination of their defense and Alex Smith is a really dangerous combination. And it's a combination that Alex Smith had in San Francisco when he played. So it's a little bit of improvement from Washington's offensive line. And maybe a little bit improvement in Washington's secondary would go a long way. Good thing I started Washington's defense, Gibson and McLaurin. That's 3 for 3 on picks there. Gibson with a huge day. Washington's defense a huge day. McLaurin, always good. Interestingly, same exact spot they put Lions and Cowboys in last year, both off road games, hosting a team off home games for the Thursday game. Yeah, Giants going 2-0 against Washington is going to be big for any tiebreakers if they need it. Washington is much better off with Alex Smith than Colin Kaepernick. Washington is it's not an easy team to play, especially if Alex Smith is legit healthy. This is a hard team to play against. It's not a fun team to play in the playoffs, I can tell you that for sure. Oh, I'm hardcore rooting for Alex Smith. It's people always ask me what my favorite team is, and since Alex Smith is healthy, Washington is my favorite team right now. Yeah, it's coming from an Eagles fan too, yeah. I just love the style of play. I love defense. I love time of possession. And Dallas, ironically, has the worst team to play against this style. Well, Antonio Gibson joins Randy Moss in being the on being a rookie to score 3 touchdowns. Dylan calling it Saints-Ravens Super Bowl. It's definitely a possibility. 2 teams in the hunt. Such a pain to fly back from Carolina, Minnesota, and be ready for Thursday day game while at home during Thanksgiving. I'd much rather be on the road. That's interesting to say. Gibson picks up this, Peyton Barber picks up this first down, and Dallas hasn't used any of their timeouts, so this could be a curtains on the game. It's looking like a 41-16 victory for Washington. I know I talked about it with people in Discord, but this is one of those games where it's like Andy Dalton versus Alex Smith. Like, oh, it's going to be low scoring. There's going to be no points, but things can get out of hand really, really quick with certain players. Dalton's one of them with this offensive line and the Washington defense. So the defensive score and then giving up the big touchdowns as well to Gibson, that hurts. And this over hits 57 points. Well, guys, that's it for this game. The leaderboards are updated. I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving. You guys all have a good night. I appreciate you guys joining us for the stream. And we will catch you on Sunday night. So Sunday night we'll be live streaming. Tomorrow, Friday, I've got one thing to do, but after I get back, I'm going to work on the... after I get back, I'm going to work on the sorry guys, my Zoom shut off, so I wasn't sure if everything was still going. I'm going to be working on the market video on Friday this week because I've got plans on Saturday. So sometime Friday afternoon, I'll put out that video for the members. So guys, keep your eye out for that video. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving, and everybody have a safe, sound night.